Is from the Michigan Department of Transportation, Jackson TSC Manager, Kelby Wallace. Hey, Kelby.
How you doing today, Bart?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good, very good.
So this summer, I think everyone is in agreement with me, has been beautiful. The weather, it's got to have been a bonus for your construction crews.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good days. I did catch on the early news this morning that we are above average for rainfall in August for the Jackson, Lansing, Battle Creek areas, but a lot of it's been on the weekends, unfortunately, for some of us. But I think it's allowed our road projects to pretty much stay on track.
Yeah, you guys are working weekends, you're working nights. In fact, that major part of the project where you removed the Elm Road Bridge, that was a weekend extravaganza. And I didn't follow your warnings to stay off 94 on that Saturday and spent a little extra time on it.
Yeah, so I think we talked about last time I was here, we shut down both directions around 9 o'clock Friday night. And the eastbound direction, we actually opened up by 6 a.m. That was intentional because we knew it was MIS race weekend and we didn't want to kind of impact fans coming from points west of here that would be using eastbound 94 to get to the track. But on the westbound direction, we had to leave that closed a little bit longer. And that's probably if you were out Saturday coming around town, you would have run into a little bit of that delay.
It was my own dumb fault. I knew it. In fact, I went to, that was the Pedal and Wine Bike Tour day. So I went out to Sandhill Crane and I saw the backup westbound as I'm driving eastbound, and I said to myself, I won't come back into town on the highway. But I forgot. I got on the highway, and as soon as I was on it, I realized, well, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. We got through it. So we appreciate you guys providing us with great photos from your photo unit, which we get to share with our viewers of project progress. So let's see what you brought today.
Yeah, so this is kind of a picture on the the I-94 bridge over West Avenue there. You can see kind of the stonework that has the I-94 label, and then kind of on the back left of that picture, that Jackson placard that will end up being have some color added to it, but kind of showing you the finished bridges and the traffic shifted, and that's looking east towards Lansing Ave in the background. So just kind of showing you how traffic is right now on 94 over top of West Avenue.
And I like how you put the signage on the bridge indicating that's I-94. It looks a nice clean look as opposed to the green signs that you've had in the past.
Yeah, so we've done that. We're doing that to all the bridges. So Cooper's got one, Elm will have one, Lansing Ave, and M60. We started that process with the Cooper Bridge and followed it through on all the bridges. Here's a picture of our West Avenue under I-94. So we kind of have talked before. We've got the west half done, and this is the ramps for eastbound to get to West Ave, and we've got our kind of welcome to Jackson sign there right in the middle of the screen.
That's awesome.
That'll be facing visitors that could be coming into West Avenue, the Jackson area from anywhere west of Jackson. And you can see under 94 on the east side there, on the right side of the screen, you can see where we have a material down, and we should be actually concrete paving out there today on the east half of that diverging diamond interchange that West Ave will have. So we are well on track to having that open completely to traffic by the end of the season here.
And you can see the diamond.
That's where we get its name, right? It's got a diamond on both sides of the freeway to help separate traffic and get it into the right direction.
So the black top, that's going to be all dug out?
It's a temporary measure, yep. This is a picture on I-94 itself, kind of looking towards Cooper Street from the Lansing Ave area. And it shows you, so now we've got kind of the freeway done on the right, which is eastbound, the freeway done on the left, but we've got this piece in the middle that we've now got to finish pouring concrete in and put the permanent median barrier there in the middle. So that's kind of the stage we're at now, from the Airport Road area to the Cooper Street area, as we've got traffic kind of pushed to the outsides of both directions, and our contractors working in the median, the middle, to finish installing any storm sewer, and then they'll do some concrete paving for the shoulders, and then they'll put that permanent median barrier there to keep traffic separate from each direction.
And that's what we're familiar with, the concrete barrier. That it does resemble those I guess temporary concrete pieces that you can move in and out with forklifts.
Correct. Yep. They're both designed to perform the same function, although our permanent is a little more stout, obviously made to last 50 years versus the temporary barrier that's short term. So here we're back at the Elm Road interchange. Both are roundabouts. This picture actually is 2 weeks old, week and a half old. So we've actually got a lot more concrete poured now. Both the roundabouts at the ramps are done, and we're actually working on the most northern roundabout, which would be at Elm, Seymour, Rose Hill. So real good progress on the Elm Road interchange. We're on track to open this back up to traffic at the end of the month. Here's that third northern roundabout there that hasn't been paved in this picture. You can kind of see the dirt outline at the bottom of the screen. That's the new Seymour, Elm, Rose Hill roundabout that'll handle the traffic from those three crossroads.
And you can see how Elm Road is actually going to shift to the east a little bit to match where the bridge is. You've moved that, and so you can see in the distance
where it'll connect. Yep, it'll connect back into Elm Road down south of 94 there, and then up towards the church and the county complex. It'll tie into to the north part of Elm Road. Here's a picture kind of from our drone looking east. You can see the car dealers in the top left there, and then on your close left there is where they're doing all the earthwork for the new entrance ramp to westbound 94. You can see the blacktop where we had to temporarily widen I-94 so that we can push all 4 lanes of 94 on that westbound side. And our contractor, as we speak now, has got the entire eastbound roadway from in between Elm and Cooper all the way to about Detman, where they're actually removing all the pavement and starting to get the removals done. And then once the removals are done, they start bringing in the new sand, the new pipe, and rebuild I-94 eastbound. And that's our plan for the rest of the season, is to get eastbound complete in that direction, and then kind of have traffic back to their original lanes for the winter time. So we jumped across the county here. This heads out to Parma. This is the Michigan Avenue interchange on I-94. And you can see we also installed roundabouts here to help control traffic out there safely. And we were originally scheduled to open this around the end of the week this week. Due to some utility delays out there, we're looking at open that next week. So that'll be a big improvement in that area for safety and traffic flow, and then obviously the businesses and public safety and schools in that area will be very happy to have the Michigan Avenue interchange open back up.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of schedule too, because I think the first date you put out there was 1st of October, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And you told us before that the neighbors that you surveyed decided that that's how they wanted it done. They wanted to shut the whole thing down, do it all at once. It made the project go faster, but ended up having off and on to 94 there closed completely during the project.
Correct. For this interchange this year, we talked to the township and the county and the stakeholders, some of the businesses, and their preference was to get it done versus kind of stretching it out over 2 separate summers, where we would kind of keep it partially open. You know, we kind of took the opposite approach at West Avenue in 94, where we kept it open the whole time. But that one has taken, as we all know, we're going on our second summer of impacts down there. And that's kind of the trade-off. You can either do it quickly if you get rid of traffic completely, or it takes a little bit longer to keep traffic flowing.
Are you a rip the Band-Aid off person or a peel it off slowly person?
I would say not owning a business next to a project, I say rip the Band-Aid off and get it done, but I definitely understand, businesses need drive-by customers and stuff, so that's really a tough
it's a tough call.
tough call either way. Both ways hurt, so.
And now where are we?
So this is in that same general area. If we look way up in the background, that would be the Parma Road interchange. And this is just kind of showing how we're maintaining traffic on the eastbound roadway there, so our contractor can kind of work on the westbound roadway. So just kind of a high-level shot showing a long picture of the 94 corridor.
Shooting from the Albion area toward Jackson.
Yeah, basically using one of our drones. This is one of the paving crews, Michigan Paving and Materials Company, who's right here out of Jackson, is doing the paving, the asphalt paving for the project. So this is just one of their crews doing some paving around the Michigan Avenue interchange. We had to do some full depth, what we call reconstruction, because we did not want to impact the bridge's underclearance. We need to maintain the existing underclearance or improve that so that we don't have oversized loads that hit the bridges out there. So it took a little longer under the bridges out there to the west to try to make those as safe as possible in the future.
Right. And speaking of bridges, you've got another bridge, 127 M50 in the Vandercook area that is getting the deck work today, I think.
It is, yep. So we're pouring the deck finally on that. That bridge ran into some delays due to fabrication of some bridge beam components, and so it's been going a little bit slower than we wanted to, but we're actually, tonight, we're pouring the bridge, a portion of that bridge deck, and then Thursday night we'll finish it up, and it'll set us up real nicely to allow that concrete to cure over the Labor Day weekend. We do those at night because we need to have lower temperatures. We don't want that hot sun hitting that bridge deck and curing that too fast. That's kind of how you develop cracks. So we do those at night or very, very early in the morning, or if you get into the late fall, you can do them during the daytime. But during the summer, when the evaporation rate is too high, we require those to be done at nighttime.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And another interesting fact for us engineers, we do a 7-day wet cure on those. So actually they'll be covered in a burlap plastic type stuff, and we'll actually have a water that'll be sprinkling on that bridge deck for 7 days. And that's just, again, to kind of slow that curing process so it doesn't cure too soon and cause cracks.
I can picture it. It looked like the baked desert land with all those cracks from hot sun. I get it.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to talk to you about roundabouts. I'm a roundabout fan. I think they're great. But I think there's a lot of people that, I think they're against roundabouts because it's different. I saw on CBS Sunday Morning a couple weeks ago, they did a story about Carmel, Indiana. What do you know about Carmel, Indiana?
I know they've been very progressive in using roundabouts to help deal with some of their signalized intersections that, have, you may have signalized intersections where you have concerns, where you have different traffic levels and different times of day. I think, another perfect reason to consider roundabouts is last night. So what happened last night? We lost power at lots of signalized intersections, right? So those then become a safety concern when there's no power. We don't have enough police to man all those intersections every time that happens. Roundabouts don't have those issues too.
There you go. They don't need electricity.
Correct. In addition, like I think I've said before, they slow down traffic tremendously when they're approaching an intersection, but typically still able to move as much or more traffic as a signalized intersection. So Carmel, Indiana is very progressive to installing them, and my understanding is they have lots of decorative things in their roundabouts to kind of, whether it's art, landscaping, hardscaping, all sorts of stuff down there. Real interesting.
Yeah, I forgot the actual number of roundabouts, but it's over 100. And the community has 100,000 residents. They have one traffic light in the whole city. Everything else is roundabouts.
Wow.
And accidents are 70% reduced. Fatalities are 95% reduced. So how can you argue with that?
I totally agree. I think they're a great treatment for a lot of the intersections we have in our county here that we're trying to install them piece by piece where they make sense.
Yeah, it's scientifically proven much safer, and we're getting more. I thank you for all the news about the I-94 project and more.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Happy Labor Day weekend.
Thanks.
As people travel, keep our highway workers safe. Kelby Wallace, TSC Manager, MDOT for our community. Stay tuned. Up next, we'll